My dear lovely people, most of us or all of us have gone through a failure or through a situation which seems to be a failure in our life. But how do we get out of it? How do we pick ourselves out of these situations? You might fail at work, you might fail at your relationship, you might fail by raising your kids, you might fail by driving a car, you got into an accident, and you blame yourself. But there are a lot of things that entails or that characterize as failures in our life. The various things that we see as failures in our life that we have tend to hold on to. How do we pick ourselves out of it? How do we get out of it? So here I'll be citing some of the things that we can do to get ourselves out of that failure or not get into a situation similar to that. The first one is creating a contingency team. Before you even think about a failure, life has on its own unpredicted situations. So you cannot live as if you're a master of everything and you know tomorrow. So create a contingency team, people who you can rely on in case something happens, in case you're facing a situation, in case you are stuck somewhere, or in case you fail and you need to pick up yourself. Yes. Create a contingency team. Number 2 on the list is develop your personal resilience statement. When something happens, or when we go through a failure, or maybe say you fail an exam, you fail something, there are certain questions you're asking yourself. What did I do that was out of my control? Or what happened that was out of my control? That's the first question you ask. The second is, okay, if something was out of my control, what is the thing that was within my control? What are the things that I could do different? What was within my control? That is another question. What could I have done to improve the situation or to change the outcome of the situation? What could I have done? These are some of the questions you ask. What have I learned? Or what lesson have I learned out of the situation? So those are some of the questions we ask ourselves. Now, these questions that you ask yourself, don't dwell on these questions the way they are. Use these questions as a compass to get solution or answers that you are going to be asking yourself every day. So, what is it that was out of my control? Do you know what was out of your control? Yes, I do. Okay, good. Hold on to it. What is it that was within my control? Have you realized, have you identified what was within my control? Yes, hold on to it. What is it I could do different? Have you identified it? Yes, hold on to it. What lesson have I learned out of this situation that I got myself or I happen to have find myself in it? Have you identified it? Yes, hold on to it. And now make it your resilience statement that, okay, when something happens, this is how I'm going to manage it. This is how I'm going to start acting as from now so that I'm going to prevent this situation. I'm going to prevent the same thing from happening or similar thing from happening. That's a resilience statement. You face it heads on. You derive solutions or answers for your future or future failure that might happen now. So you start preventing it from happening. That's how you get out of it. So from that situation that has happened, you have found where your weaknesses were, where you were lacking, come up with answers, come up with solutions that is going to help prevent that thing from happening again in the future. That is how you deal with future failures. Yes. Now, the third on the list is look back and know how you handle that thing before. Like for asking yourself, what motivated you when you face a similar problem? Because some of us, we go through situations and we face similar things on our way forward. We face things that look alike, that feel like the same thing. So you ask yourself, what motivated me and when I was dealing with that situation? What kept me going? What made me resistant or resilient that time? What can you apply from that situation to this one? Those are other questions that you ask yourself. So what was your motivation? You faced another failure, something like that in the past. You have things that you do that constantly set a failure in our life. But what was your motivating factor? What kept you going that you could not give up? So this situation seems like it's difficult, but now let me flash back. Let me take a step back and ask myself, I faced something similar to this, or I faced some problems. But how? What kept me motivated? What kept me going? What was the reason I was resistant? I was resilient in that problem. What were the reasons? Now, so from the lessons I learned from that other thing, what is that lesson I can apply to this problem to solve it or to prevent future problems or future failures? What is it I learned that I can prevent that from happening again? You look at the failure, that's number 4 on the list. Look at the failure as an action and not a point of focus. Most at times, it's our actions that fail, not us that fail. So start telling yourself, yes, the action happened because I was the person that did the action, but you are not the action. So detach yourself from the action and look for ways to do better or take better actions. I want people to understand, make yourself detached from that action. Yes, you carry out the action. You are the perpetrator of the action. But remember that that action is part of you, but it does not define you. It doesn't become who you are. Yes, you can do better. Number 5, look at failure or look at that failure as a process to your future. I made a video about process, why we need process. Now, this is one of the factors to deal with a failure. Look at that failure at that time. Look at that failure surrounding you as a process for you, for your future, that you will process it, that you will digest it and move forward. Let it be your process. Let it be a journey you're going through. Don't be stuck on the failure. Look at it as a process. Number 6, fast forward and look at your future comeback. That if I manage to get past this failure, if I manage to get over this problem, over this situation, over this thing I look at to be weighing me down, how do I want to come out in the future? How do I want my future to look like? How do I want to design the future that I want to see? That failure should help curve your future. It should help define the kind of future, the kind of things you want to achieve in front. So take that failure and fast forward and look at how the future you are creating, you want it to be. And work on that. And concentrate on that. That's how you get over that failure. Yes. Another thing, number 7 on the list, is keep believing in yourself. You have failed today. I've met an obstacle today, but I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm going to keep believing in myself. I can do it. I can do better. I can do best. I'm a best version of myself. So use that situation as a stepping stone. Encourage yourself that you are a champion. Yes, look at it as a stepping stone and step on it and do better. Keep believing in yourself because you are your number 1 motivator. You are number 1 push factor. Yes, do that for yourself. Stay focused on your goals. Stay focused on the goals you have set. You have just stumbled on one obstacle. You have just met your one stumbling block. But that does not mean that goal. Show me a person who has not failed in this life. Show me a person who has not encountered failure. And then I will tell you that that's not a successful person. Failure is part of our life. It's part to reorientate your course, to reshape your course of life. You only fail to understand what is right. You only meet a stumbling block to understand that this was the wrong road. I'm going through the right road. So focus on your goals. Learn to forgive yourself and move forward. Learn to forgive yourself and move forward. Some of us, we don't forgive ourselves. We stay blaming ourselves. Oh, it's because I did this. That's why this is not happening. The deed has been done. What can you do out of that? The deed has been done. It has happened. It has already happened. But what can you do about it? What can you do to better the situation? Practice a habit of gratitude. Say, thank you, Lord. Thank you that this thing happened this way, not this way. Because there are some certain things that will happen as a way to deter you from taking the wrong direction. You might fail on something, and when you continue, you understand that, okay, that failure was actually a blessing. So sometimes, let's not only dwell on the failure. Let's dwell that this thing is a means to an end. It helps to reshape our course of action. So my dear people, these are some of the ways that we deal with failure. These are some of the ways to come out from a failure. These are some of the ways we pick ourselves after we have failed on something and start moving. So, my dear lovely people, I encourage you to pick up yourself after a failure and keep moving forward, because it's not the end of your world. It does not become your full stop. It's just a comma in that journey. So they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a footstep. Today should be your footstep after watching this video, and know that you are not a failure, but your actions failed, not you. You can do better. So if this is the kind of content you like, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So when next I drop a video, you will be the first to know. Stay